Do you have black spots on your teeth? This is what can potentially happen to your teeth. Even though those black spots, they look like stain, they're little defects on your teeth, don't seem that big. You may have been to dentists before and sometimes they tell you, hey, it's not a big deal. This is a great example of what can happen if left untreated. This patient, this is a video that was done maybe like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. This patient had been to previous dentists. They said, hey, everything's okay. I think it's just a stain, no big deal. But then this other dentist realized that is not the case. That almost never happens. So we got to be careful in what and how we diagnose. So in this particular case, it looks small, right? It looks like there's not much going on. And now the dentist starts drilling in it and he knows, hey, this is not just going to be something small. This is actually going to get pretty big. It may not have pain. Actually, this patient had no pain. You couldn't really see much in the x-ray, but the tooth looks suspicious. Look, all the teeth adjacent to it are fine, but this tooth has a little kind of defect or darkness in that tooth. You can see that in this particular case, they're actually starting to drill quite a bit. You can see that frostiness. That is unhealthy dentin, the inner layer of the tooth. Not all the way down to the nerves, but just above that and below the enamel. So they're going in there. With this one's with an electric handpiece, which is what we have at our offices, but you can still see it's still dark. That is not a good sign. So they're going to keep going, and when they're blowing air and when they're using this instrument, you can see it kind of flake off. Teeth are not meant to flake off. You know, the teeth should not be flaking like this. But in this example, obviously it's doing that because there's issues with that tooth. There's decay, there's undermined dentin and enamel in this case. So with them, this dentist has been very conservative, which we love. They're using hand instruments because they know that they're starting to get deep, so they're kind of like digging in there, trying to get all the defective dentin in there. Now they're going to go really slow with a round burr. In this case, I believe they're using an electric handpiece, so it's not like a slow speed or a high speed. It's just they go at very slow speeds on an electric handpiece. They're making sure that they get all the defective dentin out of there, so it's going to look nice and healthy. Because if they're going in there and it's still mush, you can't leave decayed tooth behind. So they're making sure they have direct vision too. That's why I love this video. You can really see in there, really nice and good. It's starting to get close. You know, it's a little dark. I know that they're going to start to take their time because I think they say in a previous video that they've seen that it goes too deep and you get into the nerve and then you have to do a root canal. So this small little defect in the tooth, which other dentists thought there wasn't a big deal, you can see how bad this is going to be. If left untreated, for sure this is going to become a root canal. And that's, instead of being a couple $100, that's thousands and thousands of dollars. So that is great by this dentist to prevent that. They're doing preventive dentistry in a way. I think this is amazing. So now they're getting pretty good. Now look, you can see there's no real brownness in there. This is getting really good. They opened it up a bit because they don't want any undermined enamel, which means when they're doing the filling, you just don't want to have kind of like any overhangs, we call it, in the enamel. So they're opening it up to make sure that the filling that they put on is really good. Now he's going to put on a base. So a base is something you use when you're getting really close to the root canal, and you do not want to do root canal. You're getting close to the inner portion of the tooth, and you put this little base on there, and now they put the final filling on. In this particular example, they use a filling color that's slightly different than the teeth because they want to be able to see that in the future. No filling lasts forever. If somebody tells you it's going to last forever, they're probably lying because nothing in our mouths lasts forever. So they want to be able to see it, to see where the filling starts or stops, I guess, and the tooth starts, so that they can easily maybe just tweak it a bit, make it look a little bit better in the future. And so that is this video. I love watching this video. I love talking to other dentists about this video because it really shows how something we think is small that has no pain can go into something really big. And that's why I love this dentist so much and how they're doing kind of a version of preventative dentistry, which we do at Thrive as well. We like to treat every defect to make sure that you don't need bigger things in the end. Because how many people, there's so many people that see something on their teeth and they're like, hey, it doesn't hurt, I don't have any pain, no big deal. And then they come and see us, you know, a few months or a few years down the line, and now they're like, oh, this does kind of hurt now. Instead of being a small cavity, it probably has gone so big that potentially it's going to be a crown or a root canal. And like I said, you go from something that costs maybe almost next to nothing, depending on your insurance, maybe $50, $100 max, to go into a few thousand, depending on your insurance. So there you have it. I'm Dr. Nate here at Thrive Dental and Orthodontics, and I love this video because it shows you how you can treat, or how you should really treat every defect. Dentists don't walk around with big defects or stains on their teeth. Why would you? You want to make sure your teeth are nice and clean so that you don't have any huge issues in the future. So if you have any questions or comments, or do you have anything like that on your teeth, please let me know. And as you guys know, I'm putting out videos every single week, and I'm trying my best to respond to all the comments as best as I possibly can. And I will see you guys in the next video.